Hi guys, Ian here. And when Kefine burst into the scene with their first planar, which is Planar, they proved that they could deliver a planar IEM that prioritizes musical enjoyment over technical showmanship. And fast forward to today, the Arnar represents the evolution into hybrid territory. So marrying a 14.5 millimeter planar magnetic driver with a Knowles balanced armature in a configuration that dares to be different in a market obsessed with brightness and edge. The Arnar retails for around $129. And if you're interested to find out more, do check out the unaffiliated link down in the description below. And I've been spending time with this as my daily driver, using it across various genres and sources, from my trusty Hifigo KA17 to the KA9 and my desktop setups. And what I've discovered is an IEM that refuses to follow the crowd, instead carving out its own sonic identity that would resonate with a specific type of listeners. So let's begin my thoughts and impressions of this IEM first with the accessories. So this is the retail box that it comes in. Very nice and generous box. And at the back here, there's some specifications. Let me read that out to you. Frequency range is 20 to 40,000 hertz. Sensitivity is 107 and impedance is 130 ohms. Now inside the box, you find a lot of stuff. Of course, the user guide and the warranty card. You find a carrying case, and this is a very nice carrying case, though it's not real leather, but it does have a mesh pocket to put all your accessories and your IEMs itself and keep it safe. And it comes with two types of ear tips. They're pretty alright. I've been using them. I'm using the black one. Both of them, they sound a little bit different. The black one is a little bit more transparent, a little bit brighter, and this white one is a bit more balanced. So it depends on your own taste. Tip roll and find out. And you get tuning nozzles as well, so you can change out your tuning nozzles and try out the different tuning so you can find something that it suits you. And it comes with a 4-core cable. And this cable is a very nice cable, and overall I would say it's an upgraded cable. And it comes with interchangeable 3.5 headphone jack or 4.4 headphone jack, so you can choose depending on the source. And the cables comes with this chin slider and Y split, and the ear hooks are actually pretty nice and soft. So I would say in terms of accessories, it comes with quite a bit of accessories, and also if you're interested, you can also get this Kefine dongle DAC. All right, so it comes with a 3.5 dongle DAC. You can plug it in, and it's pretty affordable. Do check out the link down in the description as well. All right, so let's talk about the design and build quality. I would say the design philosophy follows Kefine's established aesthetics: understated, functional, and built to last. The shells are CNC machined from aviation-grade aluminum, resulting in a very lightweight yet robust construction that feels substantial without being heavy. The matte black finish on this IEM gives the Arnar a professional and almost stealthy appearance. There's no flashy blings, just clean lines and thoughtful engineering. Now, the build quality is excellent for the price point. The seams between the shell components are very tight and uniform. The 2-pin connectors sit flush with no wobble, and the vent ports are cleanly machined. The nozzles themselves are substantial stainless steel with secure threading. There's no concerns about cross-threading or stripping with normal use. Now let's talk about the fit and comfort. And as someone who struggles with planar IEMs in the past due to their typically bulky shells, the Arnar was a pleasant surprise. Kefine has managed to keep the dimensions reasonable despite housing a substantial 14.5mm planar driver plus a balanced armature assembly. The shells are ergonomically shaped with gentle curve that follows the ear's conchus, natural contour. They are not true custom mold levels of comfort, but they are among the better universal fits that I've experienced in the planar category. The relatively shallow nozzle means the Arnar sits closer to the ear than some competitors, which actually aids in stability during movement. Isolation is slightly below average due to the vented design. This is a trade-off for the planar driver's air movement. For commuting and office use, it is sufficient, but then you want to crank up the volume a notch on public transports. I experienced no driver flex during insertion, and the lightweight construction means fatigue-free listening even during 3 to 4 hour listening sessions. Now, the included tips create a reliable seal, and the wide bore ear tips can enhance the soundstage presentation. Now, your mileage may vary depending on your ear anatomy, but the Arnar should accommodate most users comfortably. Alright, so let's talk about sound performance of these earphones. Now, let's talk about the tone and timbre, and this is where the Arnar diverges significantly from the planar IEM crowd. While most planar offers brightness, air, razor sharp transients, Kefine has deliberately tuned the Arnar to be darker, smoother, and more intimate. The timbre leans warm and musical rather than analytical. Instruments have body and weight. There's richness here that reminds me more of well-tuned dynamic drivers than typical planar presentations. The Knowles BA, which engages from 800 Hz and beyond, has been tuned with damping components that keep sibilants firmly in check, while adding a touch of BA speed and precision to the upper registers. What's remarkable is the coherence between the two driver types. The transition from planar to BA is seamless. You won't find yourself thinking, oh, there's a BA kicking in. Instead, it feels like a unified presentation which each driver complements the other's strength. The planar handles the foundation with authority, while the BA adds refinement and extension to the upper mids and treble. Vocals, both male and female, carry a natural warmth that avoids the thinness sometimes associated with planar timbre. There's a slight emphasis on body over breathiness, a choice that prioritizes long-term listening comfort over immediate wow factor. Alright, so let's talk about the technical performance of these. Now, the soundstage on the Arnar is moderately wide, but a bit more intimate than expansive. It is not going to give you that outside the head sensation of some open back designs, but there's some respectable width and adequate depth. The presentation is frontal and grounded rather than airy and ethereal. Imaging is precise enough for this price point, with clear left to right separation and reasonable layering. Don't expect pinpoint instrument placements across a vast stage. The Arnar's strength lies in its cohesive, enveloping presentation rather than surgical precision. Instruments are well defined within the space, though the thicker note weight means some micro details can get slightly obscured. Detail retrieval is good, but not exceptional. The Arnar won't resolve the finest nuances as clearly as something like the 7Hz Timeless or the Lecture S12 Pro. However, what it lacks in microscopic detail, it makes up for in micro-dynamic expression and tonal accuracy. This is an IEM that presents the music as a whole rather than dissecting it into constituent parts. Now, the resolution is respectable for this price point. The planar driver's speed helps maintain clarity even during complex songs. And the balance armature adds a touch of upper register sparkle that keeps things from sounding muddy. It's a balanced, forgiving presentation that doesn't push poorly recorded material out into the cold. It's a balanced, forgiving presentation that doesn't punish poorly recorded tracks. Alright, so let's talk about the sound signature. I'll post my graph somewhere up here. Now, as for the sub-bass, the Arnar delivers substantial sub-bass presence with genuine rumble and physicality. This isn't the tight, controlled sub-bass of reference tunings. It is fuller, more enveloping, and decidedly fun. The sub-bass extends well with gentle roll-off that maintains audibility down to the lowest registers. On tracks like Why So Serious from the Dark Knight soundtrack, the low-end drones have genuine weight and presence. As for the mid-bass, this is where the Arnar's character truly shines. The mid-bass is elevated, giving kick drums, body, and snares a satisfying thwack. There's a warmth and thickness to the lower mids that creates a foundation for everything above. This is not a clean bass presentation, there's also coloration here, but is musical and engaging. The decay is slightly longer than typical planars, creating a more natural, dynamic-like slam that many listeners will find attractive. Now, as for the mids, it follows something like a W-shaped curve with a slight dip in the lower mids at around 600 Hz, followed by the rise in the upper mids. Now, male vocals can occasionally sound slightly thin compared to the bass weight, but female vocals are presented with excellent presence and clarity. Now, the Planar gain region, which is about 2 to 4 kHz, is elevated enough to maintain vocal intelligibility without becoming shouty or harsh. Now, this is a vocal-centric tuning that keeps singers front and center. As for the Planar gain, the transition from the mid-range to the treble is handled pretty well, with a gradual slope that avoids that common cliff effect. The Planar gain adds presence and clarity without pushing into harshness. With the silver nozzles, this region hits a sweet spot that maintains vocal energy while staying smooth. Now, as for the treble, this is where Kefine's tuning philosophy becomes most apparent. This is a deliberately tamed, smooth treble that prioritizes long-term listening comfort over sparkle and air. The upper treble rolls off earlier than many competitors, resulting in a presentation that's free of sibilance and harshness, but also slightly lacking in shimmer and extension. Now, cymbals have adequate presence, but won't tickle your eardrums with overtones. Now, for treble-sensitive listeners, this is a godsend. For those seeking maximum detail and air, it may feel a little bit restrained. Alright, so that's the overall sound signature of the Kefine Arnar. Let's conclude. I would say the Arnar is not an IEM for everyone, and that's precisely its strength. In a market flooded with bright, analytical, technically obsessed planars, the Arnar dares to be different. It offers a darker, smoother, more intimate presentation that prioritizes musical enjoyment over technical showmanship. Now, this is an IEM for listeners who values long-term comfort over immediate gratification. It is for those who enjoy hip-hop, rock, jazz, and vocal-centric genres where warmth and body enhance the experience. It is for the listener who wants to get lost in the music rather than analyze every micro detail. Now, the swappable nozzles add genuine versatility, allowing you to tailor the presentation to your preferences or the genre at hand. The silver nozzles offer the best all-round balance, while the black nozzles double down on the bass for electronic music, and the gold nozzles clean things up for acoustic and classical. Now, at $129 about, the Arnar represents solid value, and you are getting excellent build quality, a generous set of accessories, and a unique tuning that stands out in a crowded field. It is not the most technically proficient IEM at this price, and it won't satisfy those seeking maximum detail and air, but for listeners who have found other planars too bright or too thin or too fatiguing, the Arnar offers a compelling alternative. Now, after testing these, I find myself reaching for the Arnar when I want to simply enjoy music without overthinking it. It's become my go-to for relaxed evening listening, long work sessions, and anytime I want a warm, engaging presentation that never wears out its welcome. The Arnar is an acquired taste, I would say. It's like a good cup of black coffee. It may not wow you on the first listen, but give it time, its charms become undeniable. Kefine has created something genuinely different here, and for the right listeners, that's something to celebrate. So I would recommend this for listeners who seek warm, smooth, non-fatiguing planar experience, bass lovers who want quality over quantity, vocal enthusiasts, and those who prioritize long-term comfort over technical fireworks. I wouldn't recommend this for detail chasers, treble heads, those seeking maximum soundstage width, and listeners who want an analytical presentation. Alright, so that's my overall thoughts and opinions about this Kefine Arnar Planar and IEM. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and also please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. My name's Ian. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in my next video. Cheers.